In the wake of the president's speech yesterday on the subject, some new poll results conducted by the weather company are in. And for that, we want to bring in our business weather expert, Paul Walsh, and we want to welcome you and say good morning. So some really interesting numbers about how folks are feeling about climate change, their perception of it. So what are we looking at?
Exactly. So the perception of consumers writ large across the country really changed kind of with the weather. So if we've had a period of very unusual and very extreme weather, people start to take notice, and you start to see a bigger number of people that are thinking really more seriously about climate change. And of course, the weather over the last couple of years has been extremely unusual, and we're still seeing it today as we're just talking about the heat in the West. So it's having an impact in terms of people's perceptions.
So specifically, what are we looking at as far as numbers? Just how high of a perception change has it been?
That's a great point. So what we're finding is that from the survey that we did, and we surveyed over 1,000 people during the month of May, we found that 84% were aware of climate change, and about 64% believe that climate change is actually happening and is impacting their lives. So that's a trend that's continuing to increase. 54% of the people that we talk to actually think that it's happening quicker, and that they're seeing more of these things happen. And 64% are very concerned. So the trend is continuing. And again, I think it's reflective of the kind of volatility and impactful weather that we've been seeing over the past couple of years.
And the president kind of mentioned some of those impacting the wildfires and that kind of thing.
Right.
How is the public perceiving those changes?
Again, they're perceiving this. They're starting to become more cognizant of climate change, and are thinking more and more about it. And they're thinking more about it in terms of how they are starting to plan their lives, and what it actually might mean for them personally in terms of where they live, how they live, what they go and what they do.
And a hot topic always when you talk about climate change is energy, and the president was talking a lot about clean energy. How are folks feeling about that?
Well, it depends on where you are within the global supply chain. So for coal, it's going to be tough. It's going to be more difficult for coal manufacturers, and we're still going to hear a lot of debate about that. For green energy and for new jobs, there's actually a lot of opportunities, because what we found is that a lot of people are looking very positively on companies that are adopting new sort of climate change related products and services, so that there's a real business opportunity as we move over the couple of years in terms of creating new services to help consumers deal with climate change.
So maybe that niche economically for those who are adapting.
And that niche will grow.